couple of years down the road, life has taken a unexpected but ultimately positive turn.
Okay.
You are no longer living in Los Angeles, California.
Okay. Where am I living?
You are back in Dupo, Illinois,
Oh no.
town of your
No.
town you're from.
No, man. That's not even the town I like to clarify something here. I grew up in a town called Columbia, which was like one of the wealthiest counties in all of Illinois. It was like the wealthiest county in like Southern Illinois or one of them. And then
Congratulations.
I went to high school. I was also the poorest person in town. All my family. We were the poorest people in like the richest fucking county in Illinois outside of Cook County. And then I moved to Dupo, Illinois, which is as poor as it sounds.
Yeah,
And it was just like it was night and day. And if I had to move back home, I don't know,
yeah.
living in Dupo, am I renting an apartment in Dupo? Is
My
that what I'm
friend,
doing?
the reason that you're back there,
Is Dairyland still open?
not only is the Dairyland still open, it's open
Yeah.
24 hours a day.
Holy shit. Yeah, man.
The
That's what a
reason,
change.
yeah, the reason that you are back there
Yeah.
is you are now the richest man in Dupo, Illinois.
Okay. There was one guy who was really rich who lived there.
Yeah,
But he didn't I don't know if he lived like technically in that town or not.
what's his deal?
He owned a bunch of land. His name was Lou Mund, and he was worth like I don't know, like tens of millions of dollars. He like had an auto shop and owned a bunch of land, and he used to own this golf course I worked at. He never married. He said he's going to leave all of his money to large animal veterinary school at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. I
And
don't know
he
if he did.
did.
He's dead now though.
Yeah, and he did. They actually, it's the uh, largest like vet school in
Wow.
America. Yeah,
Did they name a building after him or anything?
they were going to,
Yeah.
but they forgot. So by the time they remembered, like they'd already opened it, so they were like, "Oh shit!" And so they named the men's room after him,
Yeah, the Lou Mund Memorial Men's Room.
the Lumen Mund Memorial Men's Room. Yeah,
Man, he deserved better than that. He was always
but
kind to me. Some people didn't like him, but
a part of you thinks that like he would find it kind of funny.
yeah, he probably would.
Yeah. So what happened was you won the lottery.
All right. How much? And like give me the after everything number.
Sure.
I don't care about everything else.
After taxes and paying your agent, uh, you ended
Agent.
up. Yeah, there's like lottery agents,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and what they
It's a new
do,
thing the lottery's doing.
yeah, they have like no, it's so they're not officially like with like the lot. They're not like employees of the the lottery or whatever.
California State Lotto or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they are like independent lottery agents, and what they do is they it's kind of like how there's like offices or groups of friends who they'll all buy in together on like lottery, and if one of them wins everybody wins type of deal, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what they do is they kind of go around and get people to buy into those, and you kind of put some money into one and just forgot about it, and you ended up after taxes and after giving them their percentage, you ended up with $15,000, and you are now
15 large.
yep 15 large, and
And
you're
because I'm 15 large in the black, I am the richest man in Dupo, Illinois.
the richest man in town.
Man, that sounds fucking miserable. If nobody in town's got more than 15 grand, why not? What happened? why is everyone, I mean, 15 grand, someone as poor as I have been throughout my life is like a lot of money,
Yeah.
but it's also not like enough money to be the richest guy in a town of several thousand people,
So
like a
they
blue collar neighborhood.
they also bought into the lottery, but they all like lost,
Okay.
So they all they got like scammed. Like Lotto, like the
The whole
Lotto,
town.
yeah, the whole town has been scammed. Lotto has made like a not like a comeback necessarily, but it's bigger than it ever was.
Damn.
And
I feel like
there's
it's pretty
like
big now. I mean,
it's
hey,
pretty
I'll admit, when it gets up into like the $1 billion range, yeah, I'm gonna go spend $20 on tickets. And
sure.
then I'm gonna think about it the whole week and like, man, what would I do? And that's enough entertainment for me. That's what I
Right.
say. That's how I
Yeah,
justify this gambling addiction I have.
sure. Normally you think of yourself as like just being, a $20 man.
Yeah, I'm a $20 man. That's fair to say.
Yeah.
Only when it hits into like the big money or
But
the bees.
this time you decided like, I'm gonna pay a little extra. So you bought in for $25 and you ended
Okay.
up with like 15 grand. So like it's a pretty good, thing.
I'm
And
not
now
gonna
like
I'm not gonna yeah.
you're
Great.
in like high society in like Dupo these days, dude.
Jesus Christ.
You're not renting a apartment. You like have your own house.
Okay.
Um yeah, it's a pretty cool house, You've named it Chateau Le Heron.
That fucking sucks. Why? Is it like French themed?
You don't think it's kind of cool?
I mean, I would probably say that exact thing to my mom when she came over. Hey, this is Chateau Le Héron,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
like it just kind of like stuck. So
Oh, that sucks.
you call it the toe. You're like, hey guys, come on over to the toe. Hang for the whole weekend. People are like, yeah, Aaron rules.
Okay, so I'm a cool bachelor in Dupo, Illinois, who has more money than anyone else
Yeah. And you have a
at
very cool
fifteen
house.
thousand dollars.
15
Very
grand.
cool house.
Yeah. Chateau, aka the Chateau Le Heron, aka the toe. So you are living in Dupo, and it's sort of like it's almost like living in like the Playboy Mansion. You know what I mean? But it's like Dupo,
No,
Illinois.
Matt, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Dupo,
You have
Illinois doesn't have a Playboy mansion. How would
well,
I have any knowledge of what the Playboy mansion is like?
they do now, dude, and it's Chateau Le Heron, and it is
Oh
like
no,
basically that's where you go if you are looking to
no,
party, dude.
no, I do not like this.
You
I
have
do
like
not like
a
this one bit.
you had like a grotto built and stuff like that. You
Okay,
have
Grotto
like
sounds rad.
you have a gigantic waterbed that takes up your entire room. Like your room is like
Oh,
you have like
hard
two rooms.
dislike.
You have a room that is like your normal room, your bedroom or whatever, and then you have the one that's you call it the super bedroom because it's just a room with just the gigantic waterbed in it. And so
Man,
you are, and you're having like, these lavish parties and stuff like that, luau parties and stuff
how am I affording this with only $15,000 left?
because
How am I doing? How am I building a grotto, which means I'd have to hire a fucking crew for 15 grand?
yeah,
How?
because to be honest with you, Aaron, the economy kind of took a hit. It's only recently starting to recover. So like 15 grand is going a long way, longer than a country mile, as you say to yourself.
So are the prices of everything else like it was in the fucking 1800s?
Yeah, dude. Like
How
it's
much is a
so
gallon of milk? I'm
a
not a
gal
milk drinker, but like,
you're not, but you can't help but notice it, when
yeah,
so because even though you're the richest man in town, you can still like you still like walk around and stuff. It's not like your attitude or anything like that changes. So like you
no.
still yeah, I mean you go to the store and stuff and buy your own. You're not like out of touch, But like
I mean, Dupo doesn't really have a store. They got the
what do
gas
you,
station. That's
so
where
like
you go if you need like a quick gallon of milk.
yeah,
You go to the gas station or like a packet of ham or
right.
sandwiches the next day. What
So
gas
you
station?
so you go to
Huck's.
what's it called?
Huck's. It's a Huckleberry Finn based themed. It's not a gas station.
Is that real?
Huck's. Yeah, dude.
It's Huck Finn
Huck's.
themed.
Yeah. There's a picture of like a kid in like a goofy ass hat.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you
Huck's.
when you go to Huck's to go like grocery shopping and stuff like that for your nightly packet of ham, you
Nightly.
you it's
I'm pounding a packet of ham every night, Pat.
like a status thing almost.
Okay, okay, gotcha. Like the economy's that bad where meat
Yeah.
is like, and I'm still, I'm not that kind of person. I don't think I do a daily packet of ham.
Well, you do it,
If it was like, that sounds like showing off.
but here's the deal. It's not that you're showing off. Like you actually are you're not like taking care of people financially, but you're employing some people. You have a business going in Dupo.
Oh, okay.
And also
What about,
When you go to Huck's and you see that they're shopping for your ham,
yeah,
for you and your employees, you see a gallon of milk is like 10 cents.
how much does a packet of ham set me back?
Three.
Three, okay, yeah. 3 cents for a packet of ham that'll feed me and my crew.
Yeah.
What kind of business do I have?
It's called so basically you all around the Midwest,
Yeah.
you are known as the gravy master.
Oh, fuck.
You have started a business where you like sell it started off as you just like selling the recipe to, like gravy. You just came up with your own like gravy recipe one night. Though
Rex.
you you had one evening where the evening that you created it, you almost kind of don't even remember doing it because that's how focused on
It's in my flow state,
you are in your flow state, dude.
my gravy flow state.
Yeah. You are flowing and flowing that evening. And it's a dark and stormy night and there's like thunder and lightning and like hail and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
Hail.
yeah, there's hail. And sometimes you feel like the hail is like it's hitting the kitchen window or whatever, and it's hitting it so intensely that you kind of think to yourself like, well, what if it like destroys the window, you know? And
Yeah.
then a part of you like is like and like the wind outside is going so intently that you're like you think about like getting like that getting your body like sucked through that fucking window into the
Oh,
wind, into
Jesus.
the hurricane. You kind of like think about it. And like to be and like you think about like your body being ripped apart and kind of almost joining the wind. And you kind of like think to yourself, like, holy shit. And so while you're thinking about that, you're distracted by the weather. You kind of notice that like you look down and you look down at the gravy that you had been like stirring, and you had realized like, oh, if you stir it just the right amount of turns, you create the best gravy that anyone has ever had in their fucking life.
This is brown gravy we're talking? White gravy is like a country gravy? Like what's
So initially, when you just like created it in your house, it was a white gravy, but you
yeah.
figure out like the perfect number of like oscillations, you know what I mean, for every single type of gravy to create gravy master brand gravy. So
I
you
have a
sell
line of
country,
gravies.
yeah. You're not you're doing pretty well financially, like I said, but you're sort of a still a smaller kind of company. So you're only kind of deal mostly in like the Midwest. Like you just haven't you're not big enough yet to branch off, but you feel like you could get there.
So like my gravy master is sold at like Walmarts and shit throughout the
Yeah.
Midwest,
Yeah. So it started
local
off
grocers.
yeah, so like it started off you creating the actual like gravy and you being like, holy shit. And then you think about selling like the recipe, but like just as like, hey, this is like the recipe I created. But you were like, no, man, like you think to
I want a
yourself,
bigger
like,
bite of the apple.
You want a bigger bite of the apple. Because you think about it, your your roommate died
Holy
stirring
shit.
while you were stirring the gravy. You were so
What?
just you were distracted by the thunder, the lightning, and the gravy. And so you kind of like you think to yourself, like, a man died for this gravy. So you get really, really like into like this kind of becomes your thing. You know what I mean? You become
Okay.
very invested in being the gravy master. And
Okay.
so you wear
How many
like
gravies do I have?
so you have your white gravy and your brown gravy.
Okay.
All right. You call it Aaron's standards, the white and brown
Okay.
gravy. Okay. Uh, there's also a country gravy. There's a
What does that mean
the
when you
country
describe
gravy.
country gravy?
So
Is that like a sausage,
yeah,
peppery,
it's like a sausage and apple gravy.
a sausage and apple gravy? Okay.
Sausage and apple gravy.
And that's the country gravy.
Yeah, you put it under your country classics, except you spell it Cuntry.
No.
Yeah, it's
No.
an accident. You don't mean to do it, but it just kind of catches
Yeah.
on.
How fucking ridiculous. I'm selling a fucking homespun good boy line of gravies, but I'm
Yeah,
spelling country without the O.
and you're very much a part of the
Yeah,
brand.
I'm hands
Like
on.
it's so, it's sort of like what's his name with KFC, you're like the Colonel except for gravy. So
Cool, I
like
guess.
so a lot of times you'll have like a straw hat on and like a straw for like your
No.
teeth and stuff like that. Um
What the
it's just
why am I playing this idiot thing?
well because it's you're the gravy master. You kind of realize it's not enough to have the perfect amount of stirring or whatever for gravy. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you create the best gravy of all time if there's no one there to lap it up. That's what you think to yourself. So anyway,
This sucks.
so you have the gun. What do you mean?
I mean it fucking sucks. I'm
You have
selling
the
jars of gravy. One of them has sausage and apple with it.
Yeah, dude. Those were
Like,
your yeah, good. It
yeah,
started
I
off
just
with
don't
you. It started off with you like selling it door to door. And
know.
again, this is how good this gravy is, dude. Even during this economic downturn, after, what had happened to the nation, there was like
What do you
even
mean?
so there was a kind of a I guess you could call it a civil war that occurred. This is a few years down the
Okay.
road.
Okay. Is this like the Civil War that feels like it's on the tips of everyone's tongue?
Not really, actually. It kind of
Red v
comes
blue?
no, it kind of comes out of nowhere. It's
Oh
called
wow.
now people call it back then no one had a name for it, but now people call it the Cola Wars. The
Yeah.
Cola Wars
Cola Wars.
were sort of it's like Coke versus Pepsi type of deal.
Yeah.
You basically had to pick a side. So anything that was under the Coke conglomerate was against anything under the Pepsi. You know what I mean? But there were some that were kind of in between. You know what I mean? There's some
Yeah.
there's some independent cola. There's a lot of independent cola out there, and so they had
RC,
RC, yeah, stuff like that. So they
you
had to pick a
know.
side, and
What about
it
Dr.
was
Pepper? Where's the Dr. Pepper playing in this? Because to be honest with you, that's the team that I would be on.
so. What happened with Dr. Pepper was it was the people who supported drinking Dr. Pepper. Uh, they started off on the Coke side.
Okay.
And then about halfway through the war, they actually defected onto the side of Pepsi.
Okay. Why?
Who can tell in war? There's conflicting
Okay.
reports. I mean, there were some Aaron, a lot of really, really bad stuff went down. People were, like torn apart and then like hung from, like the rafters of like schools.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it got very, very bloody very, very quickly.
I
And
didn't realize
it
we were such a, like a cola nation
that's
like
the
that.
no one really did. And then like later on, historians later on are like, it kind of makes sense, who doesn't have a favorite cola? So eventually, humans are tribal by nature, and so it's like people kind of, yeah, they turned on each other based on the type of soft drink they liked. And so eventually the way
Sucks.
that so this it wasn't a very long war, but it was devastating. Uh it really, however, the way that it ended was Dr. Pepper supporters realized the only way that they could like redeem themselves is they sacrificed themselves. They
I
so
don't want any
basically
fucking part of this shit.
so
You know, I don't want any fucking part of this. I'm not gonna align politically or ideologically with people just because they fucking drank Dr. Pepper.
again, when you look back on it, it seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the
I'm
Dr.
not I'm
Pepper's
not gonna kill myself for Dr. Pepper.
well, these people did, and so
Well, let them.
it shocked people enough that they realized like, holy fuck, like what are we doing? This is crazy.
Who's the
So
most famous person from Team Dr. Pepper? They killed themselves.
there was a guy. He was known as the Fifth Street Demon.
Never heard of this guy. So
The
who's the
fifth
most famous person? And
the
you name
fifth
somebody that I don't know.
so the Fifth Street Demon was called that because he protected a specific part of town of Austin. It was on Fifth Street in between Red River and Sabine.
Okay.
He protected that one block. And
Okay.
in the kind of the craziness of the Cola Wars, like that was kind of considered the one place you could go, and honestly, you could drink whatever kind of cola you wanted there because you knew that no one was going to fuck with you. When you were on that like about, I don't know, 40-foot block or whatever, like you were going to be okay.
And this person is the most famous person.
Yeah, because basically he was a protector there and he kind of made people like feel safe again, in a time
Okay.
when it was people turning on each other for the most ridiculous of reasons. This was a guy who, even though he was incredibly violent towards, criminals and stuff like that, he kept people safe. And so
Okay.
he finally went on TV and unmasked. It turned out he was this guy named Larry S. Truman. He was just like some
Fuck.
guy, like, and he decided like he had had enough, and he became the demon of Fifth Street, and he unmasked himself, and he goes, "Listen, fellow Dr. Pepper supporters, we were wrong. Even though what we did was for the right reason, we did it the wrong way, and there's no way that we can save this nation's soul unless we do this." And then he just like blows his brains out on public TV.
Jesus
And
Christ.
yeah, dude. And so all the Dr. Pepper people were like, holy shit. And like, so like a lot of them were like, yeah. And like they went along with them and stuff. And so that again kind of shocked the nation out of what was going on. And so the nation has been hit very, very hard due to the cola wars. And the economy is only just now starting to what do you call it, to recover. And
Yeah.
so because there were so many war crimes committed on both sides afterward, there really was no way for anyone to point fingers without being like, well, are you kidding me? Like, what about you guys who did this? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
there is really pretty much no one who came out of this without any blood on their hands. You know what I mean? This affected
Yeah.
everyone. And so, Yeah, so it's sort of the Cola Wars have kind of, it almost tore the nation apart, but it's starting to come together. We're starting to trust each other again. And so
Hmm.
basically everyone was just kind of given a blanket amnesty. It's just, hey man, whatever happened, those were crazy days. So,
Okay, that's fucked up.
yeah. So you're
Jesus
working
Christ.
so you're the gravy master, and you are like employing like, like several people, and so you actually, not because you're like trying to show off, but like a lot of times you'll have those guys and their families over for dinner and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, you take care of your guys. So yeah,
Okay.
like you buy yourself, a daily packet of ham, but you're not the only one chowing down on that ham, my friend.
I got other people with me.
You've got people who depend on you, and you're
Okay.
sharing that ham.
Okay.
So you're kind of doing your gravy master thing, living in Duplo, Illinois. Things
Ugh.
are kind of okay. You're, like I said, you're kind of in like high society and stuff. So people see you at like the Dupo Opera House, and
What?
uh
Dupo has an opera house?
yeah, you built the Opera House
Why the fuck would I build an opera house?
to bring some culture and bring some, some much needed levity to a town that was tricked by lottery scammers.
So I so I build an opera house. That's my
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah. And you actually recruit some pretty promising operatic talent, because it's not like, there's a lot of jobs available for them. So they're like, yeah, I'll go live here where it's, it seems like it's not super expensive to live. And, he's got this state-of-the-art opera house in the middle of this town. And that's a little odd, but the acoustics
Uh,
in this opera house are perfect.
Okay.
So, you're living there, and like I said, things are going okay, uh you have to travel to go to a an expo. You're there to cut with you're bringing your gravy master products, and basically you're there to kind of pitch yourself to different, like I said, you're only right now in the Midwest, and you kind of want to expand, you know what I mean?
I got white
you
gravy, I got brown gravy, I got country gravy, which has sausage and apples in it.
Yeah. And then you have,
That's what I got.
yeah, but you have some stuff that you are planning that is going to knock people's socks off.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have one that you're planning called Diamonds and Gravy. You have one gravy
Hang on,
concept.
Diamonds? Is this like a promotional stunt?
So it's not literally diamonds. It's like it's just a fancy name you gave. It's kind of like oysters and pearls, you know what I mean? But
Oh,
yours is
diamonds and gravy. Yeah.
diamonds and
Okay.
gravy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this
What's the deal with
is
diamonds and gravy?
it is gravy for the upper crust of society.
Well, what's it like taste like?
This is a gentleman's gravy. This is a gravy that it's going to, if you just are someone off the street, it's sort of like whiskey, It's like you kind of have, it takes you a second to kind of develop your taste
Your
buds
gravy
to go.
palette.
Yeah, yeah, you have to develop your gravy palate. But you're like confident that like once people do, like, this is going to be kind of a strange sell, but you're like, look, once people kind of get used to this, like I guarantee you, 10 years ahead of everyone else when it comes
I
to
didn't
this
realize
gravy.
there was such a market for jarred gravy.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that you don't know about.
Yeah, you're right.
So you go to this expo. It's at the Lanalax Expo Center in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
And
Home of the big booty women.
you uh you get off your plane there, and there's like a man standing there like holding a sign that says Aaron Brooks. What do you do?
Am I expecting to be picked up by somebody?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, then I
Like
would say, hey, that's me.
the guy greets you, uh opens the door to the town car. There's like a bunch of stuff in like the back, so you have to sit in the front seat with him. He's like, "Is that cool?"
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. That's fine. I'll sit in the front seat.
He smiles, he gets in, closes the door.
So the
Starts
back of the limo is so filled with stuff. Like that's like extra space.
Well, it's filled with the with all like the gravy.
Oh, okay. So they send
Yeah.
a limo to pick this up. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, with it's a limo stuffed with gravy. And you get in and the guy drives you to the exposition center to expo center, and he's a pretty interesting guy. He's had an interesting life. He went to a computer hacker school,
Yeah.
and he actually says that he is like he's like, yeah, I do this on the side. He's actually like the second best computer hacker in the world.
Yeah.
At one point, like this guy's had an interesting life. At one point, he actually won like player of the year.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this guy is like a pimp. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Literally, maybe.
Yeah,
Right?
he might be like he kind of like you kind of don't come
Heavily
out and
implied.
it's heavily implied that he is
Okay.
that he's a pimp. Yeah, um, yeah, and he drops you off at the expo center, and like he leaves his number. He's like, hey, if you need a ride later on, here's my number. You're like, thank you, Mr. Best, and you guys
Mr.
take.
Best.
He goes, see you later, and like the business card he gives you says Antonio Best as his phone number. So you set up in the expo center, and there's people walking by as you're setting up, and you kind of hear some people like honestly like a few people stop and they're like, and like you're not like set up or anything, but you do have to be in salesman mode even though you're not, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so at all times. And so people are like, "Oh, what are you setting up here?" And then you're like, "Oh, hey." They go, "Wait, are you the oh my God, you're not the gravy master, are you?" And you're like, "Yeah, that's me." And they're like, "Oh, I've wanted to try your gravy for so long. Like we can't get it where I live." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, well, And so like people, they stop and chat with you and stuff like that.
Yeah. My adoring fans.
Well, that's the thing.
Fans
These
of
are
the
people
Gravy Master.
they know you because they've seen your commercials. They've never had your
Yeah.
gravy though. So they are like you do have fans because of the commercials and stuff that you've put out into the world as the gravy master. Where
Oh no.
So there's like one commercial is like you and like you're in your country boy get up, you have the straw hat, you've got the thing in your teeth, the straw,
Yeah, yeah,
and you're on like a hammock, you know what I mean? And like you're like swinging back and forth, and then you just go and
yeah.
you look up and you go, yeah, you know, I might just be a simple farm boy from Dupo, Illinois. And then you turn to the camera and it turns to camera and you go, but that doesn't mean I don't know how to party. And then suddenly like a bunch of like like babes like come out and they start dancing and everyone has like your gravy and stuff like that, and it's like Aaron Brooks country gravy, Aaron Brooks apples and sausage. And so
Oh no. No.
because of these commercials, people are like, what the fuck, who is this guy? And so
Jeez. I've had people say that to me to my face every day. Somebody says apple and sausage. Like a fucking idiot every day.
but you fucking love it, dude. You're the
Yeah, I
gravy
probably do.
master.
I probably do.
you
I'm
know
probably
you've just
secretly really into this.
you've decided to like kind of buy
I'm into
in
this.
secretly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're secretly into this. So you kind of decide to buy into the character a little bit. You know how like Stan Lee like kind of played up a certain image that he had in the
Sure, sure.
60s. I'm a this baffling bodacious kind of like kind of salesman guy, almost like a Barnum and Bailey type guy. Like
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he bought into that and just decided to just be like that all the time. And so you kind of decided to do that. So when people go like apples and sausage to you, you're like, that's my country gravy. Mm-mm. And people just laugh. But
Okay.
here's the deal though, like every most of the comments are like, what WTF? Like this is so strange. Ha 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 ha. Hilarious though. One guy's like, I had this gravy and it made me think of my dead mother. And then someone will write like, this gravy rules if you can actually get your hands on it. So you're getting some engagement and stuff like that. And some people do make fun of you for
It sounds
sure.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
So
great. It sounds like the internet.
right. So you're setting up at the Lanalax Expo Center, setting up the your whole gravy master gimmick. You're wearing like a gigantic bow tie.
Okay.
You get kind of like thirsty. You've decided like, oh, I'm just gonna like go for a walk or whatever. Because you decide like, all right, like people are gonna start coming by in about an hour. I'm just gonna go for a quick walk, kind of get my, because like you're not necessarily nervous, but you have nervous excitement. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you kind of just
I
got
want
to
to be in
walk
the
it off.
zone.
Yeah, you kind of want to get in the zone, so you kind of want to like walk it off a little bit. So you start walking, and you see there's like a convenience store there, uh, RBM Food Mart Atlanta.
Yeah.
What would you want to drink? Like what do you normally drink if you're out?
Let's get
Uh,
water.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's get a fucking bottle of water.
yeah. So you're like, yeah, gonna get some water. You walk to the convenience store and you like open the door and like it doesn't open. And you go, what? And you turn around and standing there
Motherfucker.
are 45 men.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of dudes who are dressed in like different like like military outfits
Yeah.
from different eras. So
Yeah.
there's like a Revolutionary War guy with like a musket.
Yeah.
There's a guy from like current day, with like
Yeah.
camo and like, machine guns or whatever. I mean, I don't know, whatever they have. Definitely there's some Civil War uh outfits.
What side?
So they're actually purple. They took the red and the fucking blue and mixed them together.
It doesn't help me at all.
So they kind of represent like all of them. And then
Oh,
this
okay.
one
What
guy
else?
who's dressed like a Navy SEAL, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He kind of
Yeah.
walks towards you and he goes, "Hello, Aaron. We are the Freedom 45,
Yeah.
keeper of presidential oaths and myths."
Yeah.
And they go on to explain to you that they're a group of people who they kind of, like they said, they're the protector of different presidential, oaths and myths.
Yeah.
And they go on to tell you that the Lanalax Corporation is, excuse me, going to go back in time
Yeah.
and steal George Washington's powdered wig.
Okay.
And they kind of go on to explain to you that not only would this be, something under their purview as a presidential, myth of, President
Yeah.
Washington and his, epic powdered, wig or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a lot of
Classic
people,
look.
classic look. A lot of people don't know rather is that uh, George Washington had been visited by aliens at one point in his life. And he had been given this thing that people thought was like, oh, it's like his powdered wig. But actually, it was like really like advanced technology. And so that's how he was able to, win the Revolutionary War. So if they go back in time and like steal his wig, then, bye bye America, possibly. because it's a lot of people, historians, like, oh yeah, that's probably why they actually won the revolution. It was successful because of the alien technology found in George Washington's wig.
So why wouldn't they just wait to steal it after the war?
This one guy steps forward. Um, he's like a Vietnam era, you know. He goes, Aaron, we don't have much time. He goes, we need your help.
What do you want me to do?
So it turns out they tell you that you are the great, 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 great son of George Washington himself,
Holy shit.
and thus a member of their sacred group. You look down, and suddenly you're wearing like
No.
modern like camo gear and like
Fuck
holding a
that.
machine, holding like like a machine gun.
An advanced rifle?
Yep. And they go, "We are now the Freedom 46.
I fucking hate this.
You've now joined the keeper of presidential oaths and myths."
So my life is gone. My life is like finally good. It's just fucking over. I'm like making more money. I'm finding success. And fans, and that's just fucking gone to go chase down a fucking wig
And they go, "Well, I
250
mean,
years ago. A wig.
it's alien technology."
I don't give a fuck. You just ruined my life. You caught me outside of a place where I'm trying to go get a fucking drink. I'm an hour away from an expo where I'm like trying to capitalize on my career, and you just take it all away from me. Fuck you.
The Gravy Master.
I
Uh,
don't. Yeah, yeah. Give me that.
and they go, "Will you join us?"
I say fuck no. I won't join you. Fuck no. My life is good out here. Why the fuck would I go with you?
To save, you know, the possibility of America never being founded in the first place. You
I'm
know,
not good at anything you need.
they go, Aaron, you are the great, 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 great grandson of George Washington. You have greatness, it flowing through your veins. And you look
I work
down
at
at
a
it, you're like,
tech startup.
you,
I
you
don't.
look, you look down and you see your veins and like they glow for just a
Oh,
second.
great. That's fucking horrifying.
And
No,
but you,
I'm not doing
but
this. I'm not doing this. I don't want, I'm not doing it. I want to be the gravy master. I'm making a choice. I start unbuttoning this camo. I put my advanced rifle at my feet,
yeah.
take the
What
shirt off.
this guy who is from like the Korean War steps forward. He's like, Aaron, no, don't. He goes, if you if you leave us now, you can never join us again, again, again.
Yeah. See ya. I look him in the face and I go, I know nothing about what you did. I know I couldn't tell you a single thing about the Korean War. I legitimately couldn't. I have no idea when it occurred. I have no idea why it happened. Genuinely don't know anything about the Korean War. I'm sorry. I feel bad, but I'm
Yeah,
not going with you.
it is kind of seen as America's forgotten war.
They shouldn't teach me about it.
And so you don't join the Freedom 45.
Fuck no. Why are you going to send a Korean War veteran as your last ditch effort? At least, like send a guy who's from like a war that I might have seen in a movie,
Well,
you
they're all
know?
from yeah. I mean, when you do see that, there's 45 men. They're all from different eras, so you definitely
Yeah,
do
yeah.
recognize one. And so they kind of
I'm
like
not doing
start to
this.
like fade away, almost like smoke, like kind of like wavy smoke. And you
Yeah,
hear him be like, "I hope you did the right thing, Aaron, Aaron, Aaron. Aaron. I hope for all of us. Oh, fuck you, fuck you."
great. Am I in
You
my regular clothes?
yeah, you're in your regular clothing again.
Where's the gun?
It's gone.
Okay.
You walk inside to the to RBM Atlanta. You get I think a bottle of water. You reach into your pocket. Turns out one of the guys of the Freedom 45 just Pickpocket you, so you can't pay for your
What the
water. So
fuck? They stole my fucking wallet?
yeah, I mean one of them did. So you're like kind of annoyed, and you walk back to the you're like, oh man, I gotta get back to the
The expo.
yeah, the expo.
It's almost
And,
gravy time.
yep. And you kind of think that to yourself, and you kind of were lost in your own thoughts, and so like you were kind of like you realize you walked a little farther away than you thought. You look over and you see you're like kind of in a panic, and you see one of those car to goes, and you're like, fuck it, I'll just use one of these. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. A little mini, tiny electric car.
The mini tiny electric car that you can kind of rent for like a very short
Yeah,
amount of time. So you jump in, you plug your seatbelt and just get going. And you get
yeah.
right on that fucking open road. And like there is no traffic. You know what I mean? So you
Okay.
just put your pedal to the metal. There's like nobody around at all,
Oh, okay. That's weird.
except for the figure you see in the review mirror.
God damn it. That had such a tiny back seat.
In the
It's like
review mirror,
non-existent.
you see a man sitting in the back of your car.
Yeah.
His face is made of smoke. One of his eyes glows red, and you kind of go like, ah, like you're startled, and you kind of like turn around and look into this back seat, and there's no one there, and you're like, huh. You go back to driving again, and you look up into the review mirror, and like that fucking smoky figure
Yeah.
is in that review mirror, and you hear him
Yeah.
say, "Hello, Aaron. I'm the man in the back seat. He who rules the road." And you see clutched in his fist is a white wig.
It
He
wouldn't have
makes
made a
a
fucking difference.
he makes like a fist holding it,
Fuck
and
you.
the car
Fuck you.
explodes. The car
Fuck
explodes.
him.
You were only about like 300 feet away from like the expo center. Your car
Yeah.
like just explodes, and they never find a trace of your body. It's that blown up.
Jesus Christ. It's that blown up.
Yeah,
Jesus. That
Gravy Master.
sucks.
The Gravy Master brand of gravy
Yeah.
the history goes down in history as like one of the most sought after cans of gravy. They end up selling because there's only like a certain amount made. They call them the original 2000. Those are like eventually people reverse engineer it and like they figure out how you made it and stuff, like some conglomerate like buys it or whatever. But people those original 2000 cans of gravy, some of them end up going on the market, uh on like the black gravy market for like ironically enough $15,000.
Oh
That's how
man.
rare and that's how sought after, because this is like seen as like, you know it's like the Stradivarius of gravy, of canned
Yeah.
gravy. But you're fucking dead.
That sucks. Fuck him. It picked my pocket.
That's what you're upset about.